Ladies and gentlemen, it's baseball season. Woohoo! Players are arriving at spring training complexes in Arizona and Florida, and every club will hold its first pitchers and catchers workout before the end of the week. Full squad workouts will soon follow. Spring training games are not too far beyond that, and regular season action will be here in a blink. To help you get ready for the start of the 2025 MLB season, here is a look at one key spring training storyline for each American League team. The Toronto Blue Jays. Will Vladimir Guerrero Jr. sign an extension? We should get an early answer if Guerrero holds to a deadline here, but nothing else in Blue Jays camp will compare to the magnitude of this decision. The Blue Jays have put together a nice offseason, but extending Guerrero would immediately reset this franchise's competitive window and reignite a fan base that has stuck by this organization despite the lack of a postseason win since 2016. If camp gets rolling and Guerrero still hasn't put pen to paper, then every conversation we have about this team going forward will be tied to that for the next year. The Baltimore Orioles. Is the starting rotation strong enough? The O's will have plenty of starters competing for rotation spots. Zach Eflin, Grayson Rodriguez, Dean Kremer, Albert Suarez, and Cade Povich have all returned. Charlie Morton, $15 million, and Tomoyaki Sugiyano, $13 million, signed one-year deals. And Chase McDermott, Baltimore's number 5 prospect at the end of last season per MLB Pipeline, is also in the mix. But there's no longer a true ace because Corbin Burns left for Arizona on a 6-year, $210 million deal. The Orioles will need to find out whether their collection of arms is strong enough while also figuring out how to slot them in. The Tampa Bay Rays. How much can the lineup improve? The Rays are coming off the worst offensive season in franchise history, a year in which they outscored only the 121-loss White Sox. They brought in Danny Jansen from behind the plate and Kim, when healthy, at shortstop, and will give more runaway to players such as Jonathan Aranda, Johnny DeLuca, and star in the making, Junior Camarillo. But much of their success depends on good health and consistent performance from the likes of Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lowe, Josh Lowe, and Christopher Morel. Following historically poor showing with runners in scoring position, they've also talked about increasing the intensity of their situational hitting work in spring training. Whatever it takes to support what should be another strong pitching staff. The Boston Red Sox. Will one of the big 3 prospects make the team? For multiple years, Boston's top prospects have been drawing buzz with good reason. Outfielder Roman Anthony is number 2 in MLB's Pipeline Top 100, while infielder/outfielder Christian Campbell weighs in at number 7, and shortstop Marcelo Mayer rounds out the impressive trio at number 12. With second base currently up for grabs, Campbell probably has the best chance of the 3 to make the opening day roster. He's also a right-handed bat, and the Red Sox are trying to balance out their lefty-heavy lineup. All 3 are expected to debut at some point in 2025. The New York Yankees. Are the Yankees more complete despite losing Juan Soto? General Manager Brian Cashman believes so. The Soto acquisition helped the Yankees reach their first World Series since 2009, but decision makers recognized that they had constructed an imperfect team, in Cashman's words. After attempting to re-sign Soto, they pivoted to prioritize athleticism and run prevention, adding left-hander Max Fried, outfielder first baseman Cody Bellinger, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt, and closer Devin Williams. The result is a squad again favored to return to the Fall Classic. But as manager Aaron Boone says, that doesn't mean anything unless they prove it on the field. The Cleveland Guardians. Will there be enough offense? The Guardians knew that losing Andres Gimenez wouldn't shake up their lineup too much, considering he hadn't been the same hitter since his 2022 All-Star season. But first baseman Josh Naylor, who was traded away after hitting 31 home runs last year, may be difficult to replace. This means Cleveland will have to put a lot of faith in an aging Carlos Santana, who is inching toward 40 years old, in the cleanup spot. Will he be able to produce enough to provide the necessary protection the Guardians need behind Jose Ramirez? The team will start to get an idea of that during spring training. The Kansas City Royals. How does the infield take shape? When the Royals acquired Jonathan India from the Reds, they were worried more about where he'll hit lead off than where he'll play on the field. But that question will be explored in spring as the Royals figure out how to best utilize their two second basemen in India and Michael Massey. They'll get reps at third base and left field in an effort to increase their versatility. With the way that Matt Quattro likes to use the whole roster, having Massey and India play every day is possible, but versatility will be the key to that. The Detroit Tigers. How does shortstop shake out? Javier Baez has held down this spot for 3 years since signing as a free agent, but after a hip surgery last fall and a sputtering 2024 season before the procedure, he enters spring training at a crossroads. He's expected to be healthy, but prospect Trey Sweeney filled in admirably for him down the stretch with solid defense and some impact hits. A platoon might be the easiest answer, but that could be a tough move for a proud veteran like Baez. The Minnesota Twins. Can they stay healthy? As camp begins, the Twins have nothing but optimism about the health of Carlos Carrera, Byron Buxton, and Royce Lewis. Joe Ryan is on schedule. The club's frontline talent is absolutely good enough to return to the postseason and even win the division a la 2023, but they're not in position to suffer the kind of run of key injuries they experienced in 2024. As the Twins' core goes, so will go the season. The Chicago White Sox. Is it Colson Montgomery's time at shortstop? Outside criticism arose during Montgomery's struggle-filled 2024 season for AAA Charlotte, in contrast to those past can't-miss projections for the team's one-time number one prospect per MLB Pipeline. But that doubt never made it to Montgomery. The 22-year-old shortstop might benefit from the 2024 campaign and figuring things out physically and mentally as he slashed .263, .357, .465 over his final 99 at-bats, beginning with a 3-for-4 showing on August 24th. He will get plenty of spring training opportunities to earn that opening day nod at shortstop, although it isn't near the point of his spot to lose, nor does he believe such a thing. The Los Angeles Angels. How long will Zach Neto be out, and who will replace him at shortstop? Neto was the club's best player in 2024, but underwent right shoulder surgery in early November and is expected to miss the start of the season. But it's still unclear just how long Neto will be out, and the Angels also have to decide who will replace him. They signed Tim Anderson to a minor league deal to give him a shot this spring, but also have other internal options such as Kevin Newman, Scott Kingery, Luis Rengifo, and Kyron Paris. The Houston Astros. Do they have enough depth? After losing 4 key members of their 2022 World Series championship team this winter, outfielder Kyle Tucker, starting pitcher Justin Verlander, reliever Ryan Presley, and likely third baseman Alex Bregman, the Astros' depth will be tested in 2025. The lineup, anchored by Yordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve, Yainer Diaz, and newcomer Christian Walker, is strong at the top, but questions remain about outfield production. Framber Valdez and Hunter Brown are a solid 1-2 at the top of the rotation, but can Ronel Blanco repeat his 2024 performance? Will Spencer Arrighetti take a step forward? And who else will provide quality innings? The bullpen lacks experienced depth after closer Josh Hader and setup man Brian Abreu. The soon-to-be Las Vegas Athletics, can the A's really make a playoff spot? The A's looked the part of a young team on the rise last season by going 39-37 in their final 76 games, but just how competitive can they be? Yes, they improved upon their 2023 win total by 19 games. However, going from 69 wins to competing for a spot in the playoffs is a large task, especially considering most of the pressure will lie on the young group of talented players such as Lawrence Butler, Jacob Wilson, Shea Langeliers, Mason Miller, J.J. Bleday, Zach Galoff, and Tyler Soderstrom, all of whom have flashed their skills at different times over the past 2 years to perform over a full season. The Seattle Mariners, can they score enough to support baseball's deepest rotation? Seattle's biggest moves this offseason have been signing 37-year-old free agent infielder Donovan Solano and bringing back infielder Jorge Polanco. The Mariners believe they have the offensive pieces in place to be more consistent this year. A lineup that had been among MLB's worst transformed into one of its best in the final month of 2024 as the Mariners went 16-10 in September and they ranked 3rd in runs scored, 134, 3rd in OPS, 780, and 4th in batting average, 264 that month. Seattle was finally able to consistently roll out the trio of Randy Arozarena, Julio Rodriguez, and Victor Robles on a regular basis down the stretch after the latter two cleared various injuries. The Texas Rangers. Jacob deGrom is healthy. Can he return to Cy Young form? The Rangers ace underwent his second career Tommy John surgery just 6 starts into his Texas tenure in 2023. For all intents and purposes, deGrom is healthy now. He collected 3 September 2024 starts and nearly looked like the best version of himself during that time. That being said, he hasn't eclipsed 100 innings since 2019 when he won his second Cy Young Award while with the Mets. For better or for worse, deGrom's health will always be a storyline, both entering this spring training and likely for the rest of his career. He pitched 10 2/3 innings with a 1.69 ERA during his return in 24. Will he be healthy enough to carry that through the entirety of 2025? He thinks so, and the Rangers hope so.